Hello and welcome back to the Lich Please podcast. I'm Yuan, and today I'm joined by, I don't know, I want to say friend, but kind of a snake, really. A murdering snake who goes and kills the Forever DM's one and only PC for years in a one shot.
It was an accidental kind of kill. I didn't mean it.
It feels deliberate. It genuinely feels deliberate to me.
Someone had to die. The combat just stopped. Someone has to die. It's just a shame you failed on the deck save, isn't it? So so is life.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's what makes it worse is they were about to do cure wounds on me, and I rolled a nat one. You got to do a death save first. Nat one.
That was actually that was the worst it could have happened, because I was just like, it's definitely been like 24 seconds or however long before your turn. So I was like, roll. It'll be fine. You won't nat one. You nat one. I was like, okay. I was like, well, yeah.
It happens. It happened. So if you watched last week, you guys might remember that Alex was gearing up to run his one shot, which is now we've done. And it was I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I love playing Forest Man.
Forest Man.
But now I think you have an idea of how I felt DMing for you guys.
God. Yeah. So I mean, we've talked about the Slard stuff on the Slard session on this before, and how it got ruined, kind of, because you just got bested by Tyr and his spells. Compelled Draw, whatever he used. I had 6 combat encounters. Six planned. 6. Now, I didn't expect all 6 to happen. The reason I planned 6 is because in my brain it was like, you guys will take a route and you will get to the vault, but you don't have to kill everyone, because you're not going to go visit every room, because it's a one shot and you've been given a goal. Like, you guys are going to just go somehow to the room. And then, so I was actually really nervous, because at the start everyone split up and I was shitting myself.
No, I was nervous as well.
When people were like, oh, can we take different routes? I was like, yeah, you can. But then the thing, so all the combats I set up, apart from the last one and one more, so the last one and one other combat was deadly in the encounter creator.
Yeah.
The rest of them were just hard, medium, and then one of them was like really easy. The room with the nobles, the ballroom, in case you wanted to fight them. That was just the really easy one.
I kind of did. Not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to fuck some of them up.
It was straight up. You guys could have just cleared them out in a round. It was the easiest. It was going to be really easy. But yeah, so I'd set up like 6 encounters, 7 if you include the nobles. I don't really count it, but yeah. And when everyone said they're going to split up, I was like, you guys are going to die. I set this up. All the counters I set up are difficult, and they're meant for 6 people. You're going to die. And then, you know what? I'm so happy the rolls for deception went well. As much as I was like, you avoided all my encounters. If the people who went through the front gate, there was 2, they would have got battered. They would have absolutely got smacked. There were 3 archers sat at the back. They had 80 health each. They were just going to snipe them from the start. It was going to be difficult. If anyone entered through the back garden, that would have been worse. That would have been so much worse.
Yeah, I looked at that and went, no, not the back garden. There were drakes in there and shit. I was
there was 4 blue guard drakes and there was 8 mercenaries. Was it 8?
Yeah.
No, 6 mercenaries. The mercenaries, not too difficult. That's fine.
The drakes.
The guard drakes, slightly more difficult. Thing is, if there were 6 of you, it's clearable. Like it would be easier than what we get in the Monday ones. Like I was looking at things, it wouldn't be bad, but if it was just like a split up party, that would have not ended well. And to be honest, I didn't even prepare fully, because when you guys went to go through the kitchen, now I had the idea for, like, obviously servants is going to be in the thing. I did not have a kitchen map, so I when another encounter was happening, I went on Incarnate, downloaded the kitchen map, stuck it on Drive, put it on the map, and went, yeah, we've got a kitchen now. I was
Welcome
like,
to
yeah,
DMing.
yeah. And then I was just, because it was a really run down one, I was just like, yeah, it's doesn't pass any hygiene standards. It's shit. You'd expect better off Nobles, but yeah, this kitchen, awful. Yeah, and then those chicken monsters, yep. Went on the homebrew, searched up food, that came up. I went, okay, we're gonna roll with that. Yeah, that's genuinely the whole kitchen, the chicken stuff just wasn't even in my original plans. But yeah, when everyone split up, I was actually nervous. Luckily, everyone did well, so that's fine. But there's a few things you guys got very close to doing and didn't.
Right.
So that room,
now?
Yeah, that room with the mithril sheets covering the windows, and you're going to go through the door.
Yes, I completely forgot about that.
That room was a lab, and there was just a bunch of undead monsters in there. That's why when the perception check happened, I said it smells kind of disgusting, and it also smells of wine, because it wasn't a great perception check. But if you broke into that room, there was undead minotaurs and skeletons just sat in a lab, which would have got some aspects of lore going. But you guys went downstairs instead. You left. You went straight to the wine cellar, and to the vault. So straight up, if you broke into that room, there would have been a lab, with some combat. But yeah, you guys avoided that.
Yeah. I think we did well. I'm sad Forest Man is dead.
It's sad,
but it was his. I feel like it's better for his legend for him not to survive.
I mean, I was genuinely serious. His legend will be spread. You ask Boblin, it's going to be a thing. There's something somewhere in the campaign. There will be like a little reference or a cameo or something. To be fair, I was thinking for each of the characters will have something. Because the event in which the one shot occurred is like the turning point, like for an age, if you will. Like it's a really big turning point. So the premise for the story, since I don't think I've ever said it on the podcast.
I don't think you have, no.
Yeah, so the premise is, and the reason I'm doing this premise, I'll explain in a bit, but it's the end of the age of pirates and gods, and it's all going to science and technology, and it's all of that. But it's about the pirates and gods trying to work into society or overturn society and basically survive. The reason for that is that after this whole campaign, whatever happens, it's going into space. It's going to be a space campaign. So, like, however you lot do it, eventually it's going to end up in space. Like, depending how you end it. Like, it could be space pirates or just people in space. It really depends.
Okay,
but that's way down the line. But that's like the premise,
guys.
Yeah,
I know you're listening. Space pirates.
Yeah, space pirates.
Just keep that in the back of your mind the entire campaign. That's my fucking goal.
But yeah, so that's like the premise, and this basically the outcome of the events of this is huge. I said before, I tried to emphasize how important the ending was, but it's very important. Yeah, and I'll be honest, you guys are lucky only one egg was left. I rolled secretly for that, and it was just the one. It could have gone worse. It could have gone exponentially worse.
I'm trying to think what that egg could be. And
yeah,
I
mean, a kid came out. So
a kid did come out. Part of me thinking they're gods or something. I don't know. I guess
could be.
We'll have to wait and find out. But I'm very curious. It's a great hook for the campaign to get us to play so much further in the past before our characters. it's interesting. It's
Yes,
interesting.
yes, because this as well has I think the really big thing, which I don't think you actually thought about, is I gave you the choice at the start, or Boblin gave you the choice to blow up the island, or
Oh
not blow
God,
up the island. And the island blowing up's not a big thing. It's the fact that multiple noble families were on this island, like just
yes, and
multiple.
wiped out.
Yeah, like apart from a few of the leaders who weren't there, um, most of their families are dead. Like straight up, just most of them have died. Um, except like a few, like a decent amount. But that will change when I drop the law. You'll see the massive
How many we
shift.
wiped out?
Yeah, like I will give you numbers, but you will see the massive shift of power and stuff um,
Huh. Yeah,
from the nobles.
it's really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed the session.
Yeah, yeah. It's I've been writing the lore up since we've done it, just in the document. I'm getting it all up. Um, so yeah, it should be fun. I also dropped the images of some gods for you
You
lot.
did,
Yeah,
you did. They're interesting.
they
They
are.
they,
They are.
they seem kind of familiar somehow.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, that was the one shot. Honestly, it got me very excited to start the campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, I was sad that we didn't get to do more Alex NPC stuff. But with it being a one shot, it being very sort of like one track, I guess, focused, you've got to get to your goal. I understand
Yeah.
that that probably wasn't in the remit for it, but I'm very excited to start the campaign so I can start being a pain in the ass to you
Oh,
as you are to me.
yes, yes. I can't wait for some of my NPCs. I will make annoying NPCs. There will be NPCs that will have deep filled hatred. You guys will just hate, despise.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's fun. I do
yeah.
enjoy playing, especially Irvon for you guys. I feel like you really don't like that man.
We've only met
Um,
him twice. We don't like him, so that's like understandable. Um, but yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
mine will come with the voices as well. The annoying ones will have the annoying voices, like the
Oh,
thoroughly they
not the
will.
Borat voice.
Yeah, it's. I mean, most of them I'll just do a normal voice, but if I want them to be annoying, they'll have a voice, any voice, anything I can muster up. So yeah,
I think we have to mention though the most important character in that entire one shot, Thingamaboblin. Um,
thingamaboblin. Wow.
Thingamaboblin.
Oh
Just R.I.P.
yeah. Rest in
R.I.P.
peace, man.
Thingamaboblin.
That's oh amazing. Just so amazing. Just brought tears
What
to my eyes that I had to kill him. I was very tempted to
champ?
just
A
not, but
champ.
yeah, yeah. Rest in peace, man. That was oh, that was sad. Yeah, Loblin's little friend or big friend, as you will.
Big friend.
Yeah, Loblin's big friend. Yeah. So the thing is, as well, this it dawned on me after this session. I got the homebrew gold golem thing up, and then I was like,
Yes.
this combat was not as deadly as I thought it'd be. In my head, I was like,
You
this
didn't read the entire sheet.
no, not properly. It honestly, if to be fair, if I did what the sheet said, you lot would have straight up. You lot would have died, all of you. It was immune, not resistant. It was immune to bludgeoning, slashing, piercing by non-magical means, and resistant by magical means. Which means you were the only one who could do damage, just you.
Yeah.
Because it was resistant to ice cold, fire as well. It got HP
I
back
think
when it gets hit with them. Ice
yeah.
cold, cold,
Any
fire,
plus
lightning.
one weapon would count as magical. But did
Yes,
anyone
yes.
have plus one items?
I think a few people did. So yeah, but it would have all been half. Like, it was half
Yeah.
anyways. But yeah, like monks would have been good because I think they get magical fist as well. But then otherwise,
Especially at level 5, yeah, they would have been.
yeah, yeah. Genuinely, this thing was insane. And none of you use spells. There was no spell usage, which would have got its health back. So you guys actually did well in that aspect. Yeah,
None of us were really principal spellcasters apart from Tyr playing Loblin,
yeah,
really.
yeah. And we had film playing a cleric, but yeah.
Yes.
Even then,
Oh
I think it
yeah.
was 3 levels in cleric. Yeah, so you guys did pretty well, to be fair. Them monodrones were the most useless pieces of fodder I will
I
never use again.
liked them. I
I
enjoyed them.
hated them. I didn't hit a single person. I had 6 monodrones. Didn't hit a single person. Yeah, but you guys did really well because one person got knocked. That was it. Um, in the big vault combat. Uh, honestly, if you lot if you guys didn't have logic to check for traps as well, 4d10s of cannonballs were just going at your heads if you tried to open
Oh,
up.
I'd have
Yeah.
been fine.
Oh yeah, you would have been. But then that and then the golems, I was like, yeah, this would be fun. But yeah, so yeah, it was fun. I very much enjoyed DMing. Uh, it was a very enjoyable
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, so I'm hyped for my campaign now.
Let's jump in very quickly before we swing back to Alador. Let's jump into our first sort of new section, which is the homebrew rules section.
Yes.
I do have one for today. It's interesting. I saw someone had put on a Reddit thread that in their campaign on ADM, they do a ability score increase and a feat every level.
Huh. Yeah, that's a lot. That's quite a bit.
I'm not going to get into disagreeing with the way they play that because if you want to be powerful, fuck it, go for it. That's how you want to play. Go for it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just thinking like DM brain now, thinking that's genuinely terrifying to balance for.
Yeah, like let's say you've rolled 10s on all 6 of the abilities, right? I think it's 6. It is 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get to then you go to level 20. You could just have everything at what? I think 13 minimum, or just 2 20s and the rest 10s, which doesn't seem like insane. But then you're not going to roll all 10s because you're going to have, I don't know, you could roll like it's just 2 17s, 15s, and you could end up, depending how good your rolls are, with just straight up 20s on everything, or close to it, which is absolutely ridiculous. Unless obviously they must have done it for a while and they can balance it out. But that is insane. Plus, paired with feats, that can get the score increases.
Can you imagine being level 20 with 20 feats?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Plus, some of them have ability score increase, like the feats, so you can just do that as well.
Yeah.
You could have
yes,
like a +6 to AC or something like ridiculous from feats.
Some of the feats are crazy. Some of the feats are genuinely terrifying.
Yeah. You could have like 300 health as well because of like tough and other feats. Yeah, it's genuinely it's insane. You can even have every single cantrip, magic initiate, every single. Just go the first 5 feats, magic initiate, everything. You just get all of the spells. I just have a shit ton of spells.
You could be a barbarian with like so much spellcasting.
yeah. You could be a barbarian, just pull out Eldritch Blast just from the back pocket. Just I rage, and now I Eldritch Blast. You have been blasted.
Oh, you can't.
Can you not?
I don't think you can while you're raging.
Oh, snazzy. Well, that's avoidable then. But yeah, still,
So I heard that you might have heard something through the grapevine. A little something.
Yeah, for the Monday sesh. Yeah. Yeah, we have a new player, whom is a cleric.
We do.
Yes. And the cleric supports one of the gods. That Tyr also supports. The same one.
The god, yeah.
Tyr,
who worships Tyr. Yeah, Tyr.
Yeah, and I there was a call. There was a Discord call.
There was
with Mike, you, Rosie, and the new player.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, and I was going to be there had I been awake. Had I not decided to sleep.
That's how the cookie crumbles, Alex.
Yes, it's being asleep is how the cookie crumbles. Yeah, so I was going to also be in the call because originally my plan was to be in the call and also speak about the pirate campaign to the new player to clarify some things. Nope, I was asleep, and then I joined the call right at the end. Literally, everyone left about 5 minutes later to do stuff. In which I think got a message from Rosie
Did you?
about I did, and I'll tell you the message. I'll put it up now.
It's a fun little message, I'm assuming. Probably
Yeah.
more conspiring.
It's a conspiring message.
It is a conspiring.
Yeah, I forgot to say, some tier law got hinted at yesterday in the call before you joined. Very suspicious reaction, or to also to the cleric also choosing Tritter as her deity.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's two theories on what Tyr might be or have done.
Okay.
One is Tyr may have committed some sort of crime and is hiding from the rest of the temple/church. That's what Rosie said.
Okay.
For the first one.
Okay, interesting. Interesting little theory there.
Yeah. Yeah, because according to apparently you also said we'll have to have a conversation about how all this is going to go down to Mike on the call.
Well, I've actually got it scheduled after this recording.
Oh, sick!
Yeah,
nice. And then we've got. She said this one's completely out of the box. If Tyr is a god creature.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and she just said that's completely out of the box. I was like, okay. Yeah,
that's
we can
wild.
go with that. Yeah, that one that's completely straight out of left field.
Do you really think I'd let someone be that powerful of a creature just to fuck with you guys?
I don't know. I don't know if it would be like.
Tyr is pretty weird.
Yeah, Tyr is pretty. It could be like a little nerf or something, right? Like a little.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something I would do.
Maybe, but that's, and I missed all of that. The whole, I couldn't see like anything. I don't even know if cameras are on. I doubt it. But there were no facial expressions, no talks, no whispers, nothing. I missed it all.
No,
because I was lying in that fucking bed asleep. Yeah, that was sad. It was really sad to hear. But yeah, that's Monday. And it's all going to happen on Monday.
It is all going to go down on Monday. Monday's going to be a very interesting session. We've got quite a big combat plan, which we've been trying to run for like I think 2-3 weeks now. But it keeps getting pushed back because more people just can't make it, and it's quite a big one. So I want everyone there for it.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a fun episode. Session.
I smell more squishy squirmish lore.
Maybe.
Because the AI you AI generated his image, and I was like, okay, we might get some.
Oh, that was sheer boredom. Sheer boredom. It's not relevant. It's not relevant at all. It's not relevant.
Yeah. So Monday's going to be a big session. I'm excited for that. I have been also very excited for just the Monday session, like in general. Like as much as I was excited for the one shot, I was also very excited to just be on the Monday session, just be there killing goblins. Yeah,
it is a good time. It gets kind of complicated in Friday, especially because one of them, 3 of them are. I think it's somewhat well known between the party that they're all connected to the gods, the chaos creatures. 3 of them have connections to the chaos creatures.
Ooh.
One of them is a monk in a temple of Azeroth.
Ooh, I like that one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fun. But they turned up to the coronation, and I kind of described it like they said they were a monk of a temple, and I was like, okay, cool. What god are you a monk of? And they were like, Azeroth, and I was like, oh. Okay, so yeah, your temple has kind of been invited, out of politeness and the king not wanting to alienate members of his community. And he's like, well, it's not really a god, and they kind of scare the shit out of us, but, we'll invite them.
Yeah.
And then we have 2 warlocks, both of which worship patron, our warlocks of two of the chaos creatures. One of them being Squishy McSquirmish,
A Squishy McSquirmish Warlock? That's cool.
which makes the, as you know, Arc 1 kind of interesting for them.
Yeah, yeah. Being the Goblin Decimation arc, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair enough to them. I don't know how they're going to work around
It's
that, but that is interesting.
interesting. But yeah, things are coming together in that one. Friday's becoming fun. It's a very different vibe, I think, as well, because it's in person, and there's 8 of them.
Yeah, yeah. That
Quite a
makes
big session.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
That does make sense.
I enjoy it. You guys are still my favourite, I think, Monday.
Of course, naturally.
Sorry, everyone. I know you other guys are listening, but they're my long group. They're Monday.
Yeah, we are all of the button god stuff, all of the beers and the alcohols you guys have got in your campaigns. Yeah, yeah.
Slaw from you guys.
It's us rambling.
Friday
Basically.
actually got some original lore.
Oh, did they? That's
They
fun.
did.
Oh, I
Gordon
know
Ramsay
they did.
is
Yeah.
now a canon character, as we
Yeah.
mentioned last week. I think that episode's not out yet as of recording this.
No, it's not out, but yeah.
So you guys don't know. I mean, you do, but by the time you listen to this, it's really weird in my head, because by the time you listen to this, you'll know, but right now you don't.
Yeah, but Gordon Ramsay is an eldritch being.
He's an eldritch being, and if you cook bad food, Gordon Ramsay might appear.
Yes. That is a nice bit of original lore. I do like that. Yeah.
I do actually have an idea for a one-shot that I want to run for you guys as well, set in Elador. That's not fully
like
connected to the campaign.
A world building one, or
no.
Oh, just a one shot, just casual one shot.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. You'll find out. I'll run it one day.
I see. Can I play as my dad, as in Dan's dad?
Unfortunately, not.
Damn, that is.
You will play as Dan.
Oh, it's a us one shot.
It's a you one shot, but it will not be connected to the world.
Oh, fancy.
I'll let you.
It's pretty cool.
Stew on that for a while.
Same levels or higher levels? Like a party in the future with higher levels. Just gonna throw that out there. Just
maybe things will be altered.
Ooh. You've been making your subclasses. I've had an idea.
I have, but it's not that. But I mean, it's not as wonderful as you think it is. I think it'll be mainly like a fun, chill session.
Oh my god! we're going to be sitting in on the Wednesday group. Our one shot will be with them, surely. Altered. It's a different timeline. It's a different reality. Dan's a real estate agent in their Wednesday one. Canonically, I stated before, Dan is a real estate agent.
It's not connected to Wednesday. I'm going to let you keep mulling this over and let you spiral into oblivion thinking about this.
Yeah,
and maybe not run it for a few months.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you when it's happening as well. Like one session, it'll be there.
Oh, cool. I mean, yeah. Fair enough.
I also want to give I don't think I mentioned it last week, but I've got a new friend who watches me sleep.
Yeah.
Mr. Brennan Lee Mulligan has joined me.
Yes, a part of the podcast forever.
Yes. Already on the podcast.
Yeah, guys, we're blown up, guys. We've done it. We've made it, guys. We've got Brennan. Yeah. Damn, that one shot sounds interesting now. I will be thinking about this more.
I genuinely cannot state you are upselling this in your mind far more than it's going to be in person.
Yeah, that's fine. I like one shots. I was actually thinking about this. We've nearly been in this campaign for a year, nearly.
Yeah. I'm
going to say like February is when we started. Yeah, because you messaged me in February.
The time that I moved here.
Yeah.
So yeah, almost a year. Yeah.
So yeah, we've nearly been in the campaign for a year, and I was thinking, I was like, a lot has happened. What is your favorite moment, Yuan? What's your favorite moment in the in
Oh,
the in the Monday sessions
oh,
campaign?
damn. Okay, fair. I was wondering when you could ask me this question.
Yeah, I was like, we're
God,
coming up to a year. We've had a lot of sessions, like 20 something, I think. 28,
26, 27.
27 sessions. Yeah, I was like, yeah, what's that moment? There's been a lot as well.
Um,
Like, there's been a lot of good
there's
moments.
there's been a few.
Yeah,
Combat wise, I really enjoyed the Wizard Tower session, the
yeah,
Necromancer.
yeah. That was a good session. Yeah,
The first Tailspire episode session was really fun. Thoroughly enjoyed that one.
yeah. It was very, very good. That was a
Um,
very enjoyable session.
hmm. Other than that, oh, there's so. Oh, I don't know. I think if we give it a few more sessions, now that I think more people are going to have the opportunity to share backstory and get into those deeper conversations,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
I think there's more chance that we can sort of get those good sort of role play sessions where you guys are going to really come into your own. Um, right now, Double Elf is up there.
Oh, what a
Um,
session that was! What a great roleplay bit. Like, oh, yeah, it's definitely up there.
that was
Yeah,
fun.
that was good.
I guess also outside the campaign in general, just how much you guys have like absorbed yourself in figuring out
Yeah,
the
I was.
prophecies and how engrossed you guys are is really like I don't know. It feels great that you're so invested in something that I've made like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I was.
something
I
like
was
that.
going to ask about that because I was like, yeah, how much? How obviously I've never DM'd like with lore and a whole story that I've made, and I was always wanted to know how it feels to get people to lore dive like that.
It's
Yeah,
it's genuinely so satisfying, and it itches that part of your brain where you're like, is it any good? And you're like, but they're so invested to it, but they must be somewhat good.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, my favorite lore recollection was last week Monday when you had them scholars walk through, and I sat there and you start describing the flag. I was like, "That's them. That's the scholars of Isnari. I know this. I've read the document enough times. I know it's them." And I said it, and I was right. I was like, Fuck, "Yes." I was like, "I'm correct." I was like, "Yes."
Dan the man.
Dan the man. Dan the man. Is that the scholars? Yeah. Canonically, he travels, so it makes sense. It makes sense why
It
Dan would
does.
know that.
It does.
Yeah, yeah.
Dan's background kind of
Dan's
makes
been
sense.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a traveling visa and a few passports. He's been places. Yeah. Um, yeah, I was thinking, yeah, because it's come up to a year. I really wanted to know. Mine's relatively similar. The combat would have to be the tower one as well. I like undisputed. That is probably the best combat we've had. Like,
It was great.
it was a
It's
very
like you
very
guys
good combat
hiding and
session.
him like blasting you. It was. I think it was genuinely great. It was so
Yeah,
much fun.
yeah. And it was the first tail. Yeah, it was the first tail spy session. So it was actually it couldn't have gone better for the first one. Roleplay, God, there's been too many moments. Like there's been so many roleplay moments. It's hard to keep track of. What would be Double Elf, obviously. Um, speaking to Barton Bertram for the first time.
Bertram.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Um, even even when we made the totem pole, me and Tyr, uh, that was fun.
I
Breaking
forgot
Niles'
about the
arm.
totem pole.
Yeah, the totem pole. Yeah. Breaking Niles' arm via hugging. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the Romeo and Juliet one, just their existence, um, I really enjoyed. So yeah, there's been a lot of good moments. So, yeah, I was thinking, yeah, we're coming up to a year. May as well ask because I don't think we've ever asked before or talked about our favorite
No.
moments. Yeah,
Yeah. There's so many. I
God,
think
yeah,
there's a lot more to come as well.
yeah.
Um, I think it's just gonna get better and better.
I,
I'm
I,
looking
I've said to
forward
it,
to the
hasn't it?
climax of Arc One. I'm very much excited.
I've thought ever since you told me the end of Arc One is when we'll start the pirate campaign, and you told me that the end of Arc One is after the Goblin camps. I've been racking my brain over how this is going to finish Arc One, like multiple months, apart from all the lore and stuff, I have no idea what's going to happen. Like, I don't have a single theory or clue as how Arc One's ending.
Really?
Yeah,
I
which is
feel like
surprising.
I feel like I've been quite transparent in how it's going to end.
I feel
Maybe
like
I'm
it's going to
just
be
wrong.
squishy McSquamish related. I feel like it should be. It's gonna, it's gonna be. But the thing is the reason I've not, because we've only been to 2 goblin camps, so it's hard to, or 3, I guess. It's hard to in my brain like place like, oh, is it going to be a big fight? Are we going to see Squishy McSquamish? Is it going to be that like that little thing where there was that book in the session about killing like the goblins trying to kill people or whatever it was. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no theories. I don't know I don't know how you're going to finish it. Yeah, it's genuinely left me stumped.
I think I've got an idea of what's going to happen. Maybe up until like Arc 5. Currently, kind of working in the back of my head.
Damn,
Kind
that's
of
like
like an idea of that
yeah.
far ahead.
I've got like 3 arcs in my head for the pirate campaign at the moment. Like, yeah, like rough layouts. Knowing you lot, they're gonna go out the window on session 1. Like, it's gonna disappear.
See, I think that all comes with kind of like practice. I had a practice running my first homebrew world, which is kind of, I mean, I guess you kind of heard of it, the Fantasy High one,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I guess I kind of piggybacked it off Dimension 20 quite heavily. So it was kind of like it was like a trial run that worked out quite well. You become better invested and better equipped to just kind of bullet point a campaign plot idea rather than like be like, this will happen here. They'll do this and then they'll do this.
Yeah,
You kind of
yeah.
just have rough bullet points with like blank space in between to be like, okay, they're going to do this and this and this.
I do have apart from like the story arcs in my head, I've mapped out like many different lines and ways to go to introduce your character arcs from the people's characters' backstories I've got. Like, I've been told them, and every time I've been on call for the backstories or got a message about it, like in my head, I've thought of stuff that's going to happen with it already. Like, it's the first thing I think of. It's like, yes, we're going to do this. You're going to have these opportunities, X X Y Y, whatever.
Have you heard about the connection between mine and Rosie's character?
Rosie's?
Yes.
I think so. You're one of you're one of her exes, right?
I'm one of her ex-lovers.
Yes.
Her most passionate and thorough lover,
yes.
to be exact.
I mean, there might be stuff there. There's the thing is, people are choosing interesting gods. So obviously, I feel like I've talked about this before, but I have given the option for everyone to just have a god, because like you don't have to be like a cleric or a paladin or a warlock to just have a god. I think
no, absolutely not.
Yeah, so I was just like, cool. You can all have a god that you're like you speak to or is related to your like backstory. And so far, every single person has chosen a god, and it's the best outcome. I was like, yes. It's like everyone choose one.
I definitely will be. I guess I need to first work out kind of the direction. I mean, I kind of have a rough idea about how I want to base my old lady. I don't have a much of an idea of personality yet, but I know I want it to be quintessential British grandmother. You know, cookies in the oven, like roast dinner, that kind of quintessential granny. Who, if you fuck with, she will beat the living shit out of you with magic. Because, as I've said before in the podcast, going to have a 1 strength.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, you did say 1 strength granny, so that's going to be thoroughly interesting. I'm going to make a list of fun roles just to make you do just in spare time, just for role playing purposes. I was like, 1 strength. I was like, okay, that's fine. I wonder what grannies struggle with in general. Like, let's make a fun list and just roll for it sometimes. Like, just randomly, like, you wake up with back pain or something. It's just
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll just get Michael to carry me around.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of lists, I recently got into crit hit lists. Now I have a crit fumbles list for a few things.
And a crit success list, right, as well?
Yeah, and now I've got a crit success list for ranged weapons, spells, Sorry, just weapon attacks and spell attacks. But I've been scouring the internet because I was thinking like, so on the one shot, I made you lot roll when you failed the d20, and I told you the outcome. That was just based off the firearms list that I had made in my head. I was like, okay, this is roughly what would happen if it was that. But I have like officially got a crit fumbles list for every type of like weapon
Yeah.
attack. So like, there's a melee one, there's natural weapons, there's ranged, and there's spells. Like I've got all of them, and they're so cool.
They are.
The crit success one, you roll a d100. If you roll 100, you just kill them. I think that is the most valid thing I've ever heard. There has to be a 1% chance to kill someone on a critical hit. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Like in my brain, it just makes sense.
I've been thinking about it since you put it in the chat.
Yeah.
And sorry to inform you, but I'm stealing them.
That's fine by me.
Yeah. We're going to be using them on Monday from now on.
Nice. Nice.
I was reading them and going, these are so fucking cool. That like there's no way I can look at these and just not use them because they were so much fun.
It's like there's a few. So the people are probably like a D100 is a lot. It's not 100 options. It's like 7. It's the 1 to 50 is just a normal critical hit. Like you just get so more times than not. Like there's a 50% chance of just it's a regular crit, which makes sense. But then the other options is just cool as well. There's like you can disarm them, a bunch of status effects, and the 100 insta kill. And I when I read that, I was like, it makes sense because a critical hit is you've hit them, like explanation wise, if you've hit them somewhere where it hurts more and does more damage, then easily you could shoot them in the neck and they die. Like, obviously, it's going to be
there's some nuance to that, but
it makes sense. And I've even got like balancing up for crit fails because people are saying like in the comments and stuff, they're like, crit fumbles is awful because what if you've got high level players? I was like, that's actually a good point because you roll more dice, you're more likely to crit fail. Like you're rolling more dice, it's you're more likely to do it. And then I was like, okay, let's say, like in terms of like and the logic was if you're a high level player, in the world, if you're really skilled at something, you're less likely to just fail. Like, how could like a level 20 person fail to cut someone? Like, just like critically fail to hold their axe and hit someone. Yeah,
I mean, I get where they're coming from, but
but,
I don't know. I would increase the I would make the higher level players. I would make the fumbles list shitter for them. I would make it worse. So like as you leveled up, the fails are harder because the stakes are higher, right? You're a higher level player. You're doing much more dangerous shit. If you fuck up, then that's so much worse.
Yeah, to be fair, I can see that. I mean, I was thinking mine's going to work off like balance. If you're a level 20 player and you roll a natural 1, I was going to do like, you can roll another dice, and if you roll a certain amount on that, then you absolutely do fail. Otherwise, you just miss. But it just you lot aren't going to reach level 20 in my campaign, so I won't have to cross that bridge. It's not going to be a thing. You guys aren't going to be level 20. Because I'm moderately against level 20 in a regular campaign. Just moderately. I can get why it happens, but I don't really agree with it.
I agree. I agree.
Because
I think level 18 is the highest it should go.
Yeah, I mean, every time I've done the subclass creation for my campaign, and especially with Mike, me and Mike have been talking about this many times. We've gone through subclass a lot. 17 and above on every single subclass is absolutely overpowered. It's ridiculous. So
it's insane.
Yeah, and I was like to Mike, I was like, I'm going to give you a really overpowered ability level 17. We're never going to use it. Like straight up, I flat out said it's never going to happen. Like you guys could reach level 17. It's within the range. I was like 14 to 17 by the end of the campaign. Is in my brain is what you lot will be. But then I was like, it's I don't like level 20 like at all. Some of it is ridiculous. Like the sorcerer, you get level 9 spells. Go away. No, it's just fucking level 9 spells.
Level 9 spells are scary.
They're ridiculous. They're absolutely insane. There's so many dice. There is a level 9 spell for there's a subclass spell for the Hexblade sorcerer at level
Yes.
19 or 18.
Yep.
Level 9 spell. It's a sword. I've used it because I've done level 21 shots. I've used it before. It's insane. It's a critical hit on an 18, 19, and 20, and instead of doubling, it's originally it is. I'm gonna say it like 8d12 of hit points.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so that's a lot. But instead of doubling, you get like 12d12 extra dice for a crit hit. So you rolled an 18, you critical hit, and that's 20d12s.
Is that including modifiers? You get an 18.
No, it's just off the dice. Just
so
off the dice
flat 18 on dice. Okay, that's still
yeah. So,
but yeah,
but that's a what 15% chance that you're going to do 20d12s of damage. That's ridiculous. Like there's no need unless it's you're doing a murder hobo one shot or a high leveled one shot because your world has really overpowered like characters like most worlds do, and you're going to be acting as one of them. Your players don't need to be level 20. It just doesn't. Like I just no. That's why I don't like XP either. Like I get why people do it, but you can just max to level 20 really quick. And then
that's something I think I can't remember who said it, but it was someone that said if you're a new DM and you're doing XP and you give your players an encounter which should kill them to sort of teach them, oh, this is something you should run away from, and they kill that, and then suddenly boom, they're level 4 because shit happens in D&D, and sometimes out of fucking nowhere they end up killing something they have no right killing. And they're level 4 already, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. They're just less. Yeah, I don't even know if I've told anyone this, but yeah, you lot are not to reaching level 20. Like
that's fine.
When we do the subclass for everyone, I will give you the most overpowered thing at the highest level like subclass thing you get. We're not going to use it. Like we're not getting to the point you're using it. So you can have it be overpowered. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Something else I saw recently was the wish spell, which does automatically succeed, right? You cast wish, and you chain them automatically. I saw someone run it using a percentile dice.
Oh.
And that if you're trying to, so I think it was what their situation was. The demons from the 9 hells were coming up to take over the world. And the guy said, I wish the demons weren't coming to take over they remained in the 9 hells.
Mm-hmm.
And the DM was like, okay, I want you to roll me a percentile dice and get below 15. And then that will succeed. If it doesn't, it fails. And I loved that. That was...
Yeah.
That really ups the stakes of things as well. Being like... Some stuff like that where you change very intricate rules to have it be more chaotic and more sort of dice-based and chance-based. I love that. It's so much more fun.
Yeah, I agree. When it's more up to the chances, it's more interesting because guaranteed things are just weird. I think nothing is ever guaranteed, so it doesn't make sense for things to just be guaranteed. Like I can do this and it's guaranteed. Like apart from some things, like I get like magic missile, like well done, you've guaranteed a hit. It's balanced, it's fine, and then like Hunter's Mark, it doesn't even do damage. You just cast it on a person. Things like that is fine. Like spells where it's just cast on the person and it either does a little bit of damage or it's on the person. Sure, whatever. But things where it's just like, oh, it's insane and it's like the wish spell and it's just guaranteed. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It shouldn't be a thing.
Like Friday's goal is to get the wish spell and use it to resurrect enough kings of the 9, the 9 great Eladorian rulers.
Yeah. And
so it becomes a 7-day week again.
I mean, fair enough.
Which wouldn't unmake all the acts they did, guys. I don't think you're thinking about that because they're just alive again. They
Yeah,
didn't undo everything that they did during their life like 1,000 years ago. They're just
yeah.
alive again, so they're still going to be a 9-day week. You know what? Just to fuck with you guys, I might just add them back. They now have three extra days a week, 4 extra days a week.
Yeah,
So it's now a fucking 13-day week.
yeah. I mean, my calendar is 12 months, 12 days a week. That's right. The 12 gods of Olympus have 12 months and 12 days a week. It's 12. It's just going to be the number 12 is going to be everywhere.
How
Just
many
in
days in a
existence.
month? 12
144.
days a month.
Yeah, 12 times 12. 12 weeks? No, I'm joking. I have no idea. I'd something. We'll figure out an amount.
Wait. So 12 days a month.
Yes.
Is it 12 weeks a month?
We could do 12 weeks a month. So they all get their own work. Because that would be 144 days a month. And that would be, I don't know, 1,600 and something days a year.
That's crazy. That's mental.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it would be 1,680 days a year. That's just a few. Just a few. Yeah, that is like 2.5 times the amount of days in yours. Like straight up, it's like 2.5 or 2.75 times the amount of days in your year, in your campaign. I don't think I will do that. Just going to preface that now. I decided 12 months in a year and 12 days in a week. I don't think I'm going to do that. I might do 3 days in a week for Hades, Zeus, and four. Wrong mythology.
3 weeks a month, you mean?
Yeah, 3 weeks a month. Yeah, for Hades, Zeus, and Poseidon. I might just do that because it's still
that's fair.
It's a factor of 12, so it's fine. But yeah, 12, big number in Greek mythology. I've done a lot of reading. It's just an important number. It is an important number. There's 12 primordial gods, and there's 12 gods that live on Olympus. So it's just a big number. Yeah,
it's kind of what I based the 9 off, really.
Oh yeah,
that's that kind of idea that there's sort of yeah,
that's understandable.
I should have carried it through because there's like 10 god creatures and like more gods than that. But like it would have been cool if I'd like carry this synergy through, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, mine, yeah, sure.
I've been sitting here like a good boy, waiting patiently, ever expectant for the horror story this week.
Yes, always the horror story.
Because you gave me a tidbit before, and I've been mulling it over in my mind since we started recording, like fucking ages ago now.
Okay, so the title. I had to throw my best friend out of my TTRPG round. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, immediately, amazing DM.
Yeah.
Putting your players in front of your friend, incredible. Go for it. Smashing it already. I might regret that statement.
You might. So, in fact, I'm going to start with some comments. This seems a really weird way to do it, but I was reading this.
Okay. Oh no! Am I going to immediately regret what I said?
Maybe. So he does sound like a bad player, but you aren't perfect either.
Rip.
Yep. Random nerfing based on real-world physics in a D&D game is a really toxic and terrible DM trait.
I retract my statement. My statement.
Yeah, and then it's just complaining about how it's D&D, not real life. Picking and choosing real-world physics applied is stupid, and you're a bad DM.
Oh no, they're that DM.
Yes. So let's get into it. Nearly 2 years ago, I started to DM my first round. This part really confused me because I have no idea what they mean by first round. I'm guessing first game, session, whatever.
Maybe. Yeah.
I started months before with planning. It's not how you spell it. Planning plot points, encounters, and who I would invite. I invited 2 players from the first round that got me into playing TTRPGs. I'm guessing his first or their first session.
Yeah.
A local friend of mine and my best friend, online because the others live far away. We play a D100 system I got taught by the 2 players that first invited me. It's more roleplay focused and has no stats. You describe what you want, the more detailed the better, and roll a D100 for everything. So it's like percentile, like that works. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, that seems cool. I can get behind that.
Yeah. Fun. That seems reasonable. That's set to the group. My best friend lives in another country. We talk daily over Discord. He was pretty jealous that I got invited into RP rounds here and there because he also wanted to play it. So of course I invited him into my new campaign. He also got a new girlfriend in that time. That's probably going to be relevant to the story. Um, Problem started with the character creation. He wanted to play an owl folk. Okay, no problem. Can fly, of course. We can manage that. That wields a giant sword. But to fly, you'll need a hollow bones. You'll need hollow bones, which wouldn't give you much strength to wield a greatsword. Also, magic, and the owl is vegetarian. So I'm going to preface this with some
Okay.
science here. You
Okay.
can have hollow bones and still be strong. Um,
Uh,
I'm pretty sure
yes.
it's just they don't heal as well, and the damage to them is a lot more substantial than if you didn't have hollow bones. I think. Um, Also, you can be strong and be a vegetarian.
So I feel like I'm especially equipped to
Yes.
sort of answer this question. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I'm a zoologist specializing in animal behavior and welfare, very specifically. Now, cassowaries have hollow bones, um, and I would argue a cassowary is pretty fucking strong. Um, but
Yeah.
cassowaries can't fly either. So I mean, it's just my point of view that man is fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Hollow bones does not mean you can't. It's just dumb.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, being a vegetarian, I don't think that has any relevance on strength. You can still be a vegetarian and be strong. Believe it or not,
Well,
protein doesn't solely just exist in meat. You can have supplements. It's fine. Like, it's a thing. There's
yeah,
protein powder, guys. I don't care if it's D&D. There's protein powder. We can bring in real life into it. We're bringing real life into it. Okay, there's protein powder. You can supplement
okay.
protein. It's a thing, right? It's just
Calm down, Dan.
the Dan just came out there.
You slipped into Dan there and just
Yeah,
started talking macros and
yeah. Cool. I know it's fantasy, but I also wanted at least that my world makes a bit of sense. An owl would need to be light and have hollow bones to be able to fly, and then additionally carrying a greatsword. Things don't have to be light to fly. From a purely physics standpoint, flying has nothing to do. Well, like a moderate amount, but not as important to weight as like being light. Like planes aren't light. That's not
no.
why they like. You know how weight is not an important factor. It's a lot
Also,
to do with like wing shape, and yeah,
yeah,
we could talk about this all day. But it's
proportionately, look at bees.
yeah, yeah, they actually should not be able to fly like at all. They shouldn't, but they do because it's physics. It makes sense. Like if you're
Yeah,
going off weight, like body to fucking wing ratio, it's obviously it's not going to work. Like most things won't fly. It's stupid. Um, yeah, but sure. And apparently, yeah, so they need to be light and have hollow bones to be able to fly, and then additionally carrying a great sword was just unrealistic to me. Also, owls are carnivores. Today, I understand I was maybe a bit too harsh during creation. Cool. At least he understood. Today, so 2 years later, but whatever. At least he understands that he might have been too harsh. Uh, but it's owl folk, so they have a brain and they can be vegetarian. I think. I don't think it's a big deal. But sure. After some time, we settled with a flying, dex-based owl with some hand knives and air magic that was vegetarian, but had to eat more to cover the deficit. We had our session 0, where every character got introduced. They are summoned by an old wizard to his tower and given a quest to save the world, because great evil is coming. But they were too weak just now, so they would need to get stronger on their way to stop some catastrophes. Looking back now, I know it was a bit too thick for the beginning, but back then I just wanted a cool way to bring them together by destiny. Sure. The other players were a shadow genasi archer, a war beast, cursed elf, and an undead man with strange mist powers. Okay. All right then. Um,
whatever floats your boat, buddy. Go for it.
yeah. First round went pretty okay. A little hiccups. I was still nervous if I would be able to GM. Then everything went down with my best friend. In session 2, he already used out of character knowledge. They talked about the war beast, but never addressed her with that description because they don't know the word. Neither that she is one. Okay, yeah, that's a bit cunnish. Yeah, I can see people being annoyed with, like a GM being annoyed with out of character knowledge into things, but that's why we do. If you know it, you can use it, like for lore in yours. Yeah,
Law-wise, I think, yeah, because I've given you the document, it's kind of like a reward for reading it. I guess
yeah,
if you're using like if you guys had if it was a module and you guys had read the lore of the module and be like, oh well, this, I'd be like, well, come on, guys.
yeah, yeah. Um, Al suddenly mentioned in character, "Oh yeah, I already have experience with war beasts." Me, no, you don't. You don't even know that word because no one mentioned it. He then wanted to insist that he knows it. I strictly said, no, you can't. He was pissed off that. That is. Hmm. That is.
It does kind of seem like against your system, though. As you said at the beginning, if you roll for it, you'd roll
Yeah.
D100. If
Yeah.
you could have asked him to roll for it, that would have been my solution.
That would have been mine as well. Just roll
You
for
just
it.
set the DC really high.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Session ended, and between the next sessions, he sent me some new backstory for his character that he wrote, where his character met a guild master that had the nickname Warbeast. Sure. I said, no, I can't accept that. He was pissed again, saying I would not allow him anything. So the thing about this is, I get writing more backstory during the campaign, as I have done for Dan, right? I get that. But specifically putting something in because they didn't allow you it on the previous session is just a dick move. It's the worst.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. That's bad.
So, like, yeah, you've added lore to make Dan more of a rounded character. If you had gone back and added Dan is an adventurer and has met the 10 chaos beasts multiple occasions and is on friendly terms with Squishy McSquirmish, I'd have been like, now, Alex, buddy, come on.
Yeah. No. It's
But while you've been reading, I've been rewinding my brain back to my first year, to a module that we had where we explored survival strategies, where we covered flight biology. Now, what hollow bones do is they are connected to the air sac, which allow birds to take in more oxygen, which allows them to breathe and have more energy during flight. Now, what I'm pretty sure they don't do is they don't make them birds lighter. They don't have them. It's not a. Unless there's new research I've not read and it's come out in like the last 2 years. I'm pretty sure it's concluded that the hollow bones don't make the birds light and help them fly.
Yeah.
So categorically incorrect on that one.
Yeah. Weight is just, yes, it's not as important to flying as people think it is. Oh well.
I think you don't. Before you go on, I think I'm at the point now. Everybody sucks here. Everybody's awful.
From what I've gathered. Cool. So he was pissed again, saying I would not allow him anything. I then tried to calmly explain to him that I created the entire world and know things you and your character don't know yet. I know best if things don't make sense in my world. I say no one would call themselves a war beast if you would know what it is. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Because it was tied to the backstory of another PC and was a rather horrific process, it was story important. He kind of understood that, but it took some time. This was one of the issues. He still continued to use out-of-character information, could not differentiate between in-game and off-game. But the worst thing was, he was unreliable. The round was planned for every second Sunday to a set time. We found a day everyone had time for or could take the time. Yet he came to a session 3 hours late without really informing me. That's a bad thing, I guess. The question
that's
is,
a dick move.
The question is, what's I know, like, I'm going to play devil's advocate. What's the time difference of the country he lives in and you live in?
That's fair.
Would be my question,
I
because I
I
suffer
had
from this.
I had
Yeah,
forgotten about that.
yeah, because I suffer from this. I miss sessions, but like that's because I stay up. If it's a time that he can do, I get like, it might be bad. But at the same point in time, if it's a time that he can do because it's on that day, doesn't necessarily mean that he like things get like if it's an evening time, he might have things to do in the evening. Sometimes I get that, but at the same point in
Yeah.
time, let them know. You know, um, yeah, cool. He sent me a text that he was
Even if
driving.
it's
Oh yeah, yeah, go. It's fine.
no, sorry, go on. I was
Oh,
gonna say
cool.
even if it's like 10 minutes before the session, just be like, sorry, I'm things are going wild here. I can't make it today. Like
Yeah,
no one's gonna care.
yeah, I agree. He sent me a text that he was driving back from his girlfriend's house and would need an hour back because of traffic. I said, okay, I can stretch an hour with 3 players, but after 1 hour, 2 hours, nothing, I didn't know where he was, already worrying something bad could have happened. 3 hours later, he joined the call. Um, yeah, sorry, my girlfriend's dog threw up, so I helped clean up, and then we still went on a walk together and some stuff. He told me he was on his way when he wasn't and ignored my texts. He then only stayed for like 1 to 1.5 hours because the dice fucked him up and he was tired and left for the evening. That also happened multiple times where he would throw tantrums about having bad dice luck and just leave the call or start arguing that the roll doesn't count. Okay. Okay, buddy. All right then. Sure. Um, in the first 5 sessions, he was absent for over half the time, if even there at all. I talked to him that we together decided on the date and time, and I have to rely on him being there for the round, or at least him giving me a notice if he wouldn't be able to be there so I can plan for it. Yeah, that's reasonable. Um, since he was my best friend, I was really hesitant of throwing him out, but it didn't get better. He had some beef with one of the players, and they were not going to make it up. It got to the point where if he doesn't leave, I'm leaving, and more than one player said that. So I sat my friend aside, trying to talk to him. He is pretty quick tempered, so it's difficult finding words. I told him, listen, you got your new girlfriend and you deserve the love, but that also means you're a priority and currently elsewhere other than role playing. So it'd be the best if you leave the group for now. You can maybe join again if you have less on your mind. He answered no, wanted to stay in the group.
That's that wasn't a question though. That was
Yeah, that was the statement. Yeah, not a
the DM
question.
saying you are not coming
Yes.
back.
Wow. I asked him how, since he was absent for more than half the time, left me in the dark on when or if he would be there, and was always complaining. He really just wanted to stay in the group, and took it pretty personal. I knew he would. That was what made it so difficult. But after some time, he realized it was right and was okay with the decision. We are still best friends. He now says it was because of the players and the system that he couldn't enjoy it. Says he needs all of his options written down and ruled, like D&D. Oh, so this is not D&D. That's good to know. Um, great horror story for D&D horror stories. Anyways, the round
It's
got a
fine.
bit.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's relatively the same.
There are dice involved.
Exactly. The round got a bit swapped, and we had a restart with other characters. But since then, it's going really well. I have fun and get better at DMing. At least I don't panic anymore when players try something stupid. Maybe I can one day play a TTRPG with my friends together, but not for now. Um, yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
it's
it just
it's
sounds like it just sounds like a new DM.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah, pretty much. But I don't understand why you would make a world that has some realistic physics or biology or realistic world stuff in it, because that
it
can just
doesn't
straight
sound
up
like
like
he
ruin things.
understands real world biology.
Exactly. Mm. Like it can just ruin things for players. Like if you want to use real life stuff in a world, that's cool, but you have to at least understand what you're using. Um, you can't just use just stuff because like, you searched it up and you read it once and it was like, okay, yeah, yeah, you guys can't do that because it doesn't like make logical sense. But then a lot of things in fantasy worlds don't make logical sense. So here we are. Like it's a
And
fantasy. It's a not real.
could
Yeah,
literally throw fireballs from your hand or a dragon as well. So
yeah. And like the DM is straight up the god of the world. Like you can just do it if you want.
Question:
Yeah.
If he has dragons in his world, do the dragons have hollow bones?
Maybe they do. Maybe they don't.
But like,
Yeah, it's yeah. It's weird. It's very. I don't get it, but yeah, that's why people don't use the real life stuff because it doesn't
yeah,
make.
it's boring. It
Yeah,
is
it's
boring.
boring. No one wants to sit there and do like calculations for things. Like, if you start using real life stuff, I'm not going to start calculating like I'm not going to use Suvat. I'm not going to sit there and do like mechanics. No, I'm not going to. That's stupid. That's so stupid.
No.
It's just, I don't have a degree in maths for a reason because I don't want to do it. Like I just. So yeah, I just people. Oh well. At least he knows that he was wrong in some aspects, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's growth.
Yeah.
Now, we have some exciting guests coming up in the next few weeks.
We do.
We're not going to reveal who yet. We're going to keep it secret.
We shall.
But I'm issuing you a challenge.
Yes.
I think I can get more views than you across 5 videos on TikTok by the time we have our next guest on next week, or the week after, or whenever we do this.
Yes.
I think I can get more views than you across 5 videos in that time.
Maybe, but as an avid TikToker, a person who's been on TikTok for like many years, I don't post obviously, but I watch a lot. I think I'll do all right. I think I'll do decent.
As someone who doesn't have TikTok and relies solely on the TikToks being exported to Instagram Reels, I think the quality of TikToks I observe is so much higher than the quality that you have to shift through to find the good ones. That I have an appreciation of them.
I see. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Well, I posted one today.
Yes. But this doesn't count. This is not for the challenge.
That absolutely counts.
No. These were the auto-completed clips. This doesn't count.
No. Not the auto-completed clips. I recorded one today and posted it.
Did you? Oh my god, I've got to look.
I did. You can have a look.
Gotta look right now.
It's there. It's our newest video.
Oh, it's straight up a not podcast related video. Okay.
It's not. It's a me video.
52 seconds. It's too long. I know the attention span of TikTokers. It's too long. They're not going to watch it.
That might explain why there's 0 comments.
I'm telling you, if you said at the end comment, like people tend to. Luckily, you can 2 times speed things now, but that's not the point. People have a low attention span. Don't worry, I believe in myself.
All right.
So I will post some podcast clips, but
collectively, across 5 videos, how many views do you think you can get?
I'm gonna say over 5. At least 3,000. At least 3,000.
3,000
over 5 videos.
Oof.
I'm aiming for at least 600 a piece. Views, yeah, at least 600 a piece. I will post memes. There will be D&D memes, and that will get me views. I know the good memes.
No. It's got to be you in the video. You've got to be in the video.
Oh, I can put my head in the bottom left corner. I'll still post memes.
That doesn't count. Yeah, you can't shithouse this. You can't shithouse this.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry. There'll still be memes. There will still be TikTok sounds. I will win. I will be the winner.
Okay. I'm going to go conservative. I reckon I can get 2,000.
Yeah, that's fair. That's like 400 piece. But I'm aiming for 600 piece. I think I could.
But we'll also have our next guest judge not only who got the most views, because that'll be one winner, who made the best videos.
Yes. I can't wait for my D&D skit. I hope you're prepared. It's going to be.
You're going to do a skit.
I'm going to do a skit. It's going to be 15 seconds long, and I will win.
I'm going to employ Friday. Friday going to help me.
Oh, damn! It looks like my dog is going to have to be a fantasy dragon.
Well, Thank you guys for watching this episode.
Yes.
So I think it's one of our longest, actually.
It's up there. Yeah, it's up there.
So yeah, by the time you guys actually watch this video, I think you guys will have seen these TikToks, hopefully. So do make sure to leave us some comments in the past that you've already done so. I hope you've commented. That's what we'll say. So remember to give us that 5-star like on Spotify, on Instagram. We're on Instagram. Yes, we are on Instagram, actually.
We are on Instagram.
There's nothing on there.
There's nothing
Follow us
there.
on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter.
Yes.
YouTube. TikTok. Amazon Music. Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Just the ones that are on.
We have some pretty big guests coming up that we're very excited for.
We do.
To talk to. So yeah, do give us all those follows
and comment on our TikToks. Comment on who's better. Just put my name. Just put Alex.
I'm better.
Don't view, if you go on the account. Don't view Yuan's videos. You see my face, you click it.
No.
That's
Ignore him. He's lying. My videos are so good.
All the captions were Alex made this, and I'll put all the hashtags. Just click them. Just know, guys. Just know.
Yeah. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Goodbye.